Assalamu alaikum. يسعد مساكم جميعا, and I would like to welcome all of you to our today's workshop, which is going to be about advanced writing skills for research, presented by Dr. Adel Abdulrahman. Dr. Adel Abdulrahman is a faculty member of ELI at the ELI here at KAU, and he got his PhD from Exeter University in the UK, and also he has published several research papers on research education. So, Dr. Adel, the floor is yours. You may start now.
Thank you very much, Dr. Basim. All right. First of all, I want to make sure that everybody can hear me clearly. Can everybody hear me very clearly? All right. That's nice. Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Amal. All right. Thank you, Awad. Nice. So let's start right now. And I will start off by first introducing myself. Thank you to Dr. Basim for the introduction, and I'll take it up from here. My name is Dr. Adel Abdulrahman. I have an MA in English and another MA in Applied Linguistics. I have my doctorate in education, specializing in TESOL from Exeter University, UK. I'm also CELTA qualified. I'm a certified trainer of trainers. I have one training certificate from Norwich, which I got a certified IELTS examiner. I have 16 years of teaching experience and 8 years of training experience. I have published several research papers, mostly on teacher education, but also on some other topics. And last but not least, I love learning languages. So yeah, that's me. And I think we should, instead of dipping our toe in the swimming pool, we should just dive in. What do you think, all? Thank you, Awad. So as you know, we start every workshop by talking about our aims. What is it that we're going to do in this workshop? So this is it. By the end of the workshop, we will have practiced varying our sentence structures, and we will have looked at 6 more methods for making our writing more advanced. Okay, we will start off slow. We will start off with some simple activities, which will look at writing at the sentence level, and then slowly we will start to take it up a notch. And I'm going to tell you honestly, I'm really excited for this session because there's going to be a lot of involvement from you. Are you all ready for involvement? I will count to 3. Let me see how many yeses I will see in the chat box. 1, 2, 3, go. There's 1. There's another one, another, and another. Oh, this is going to be nice. Nice. This is going to be so much fun. All right. Thank you very much, all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's go. Advanced writing. When you have to produce a piece of advanced academic text, what do you find to be the most challenging aspects? Now, before you answer, I want to make it clear that this question is about the actual mechanics of writing. Tell me about the aspects related to writing, assuming that you have the ideas and you have a structure in your mind. So no problems related to ideas and no problems related to structure of the overall article or thesis. What problems do you think people can have when doing academic writing? Any ideas? Yeah? There you go. Rahab says, positioning myself in the scholarly article, scholarly circle, sorry. Yep. Another one from Awad, writing the first draft. There you go. Yep. Yep. Nice. Aisha says writing in general language. Yeah. Yeah. And that's Aisha, that's what we'll be hitting. Yep. Siham says finding references. Sara says transferring from one idea to another. Yeah. Yasir says giving the right meaning. Awad says picking the proper vocabulary. Nice. Thank you very much. Writing the draft. I think somebody's mic is on. We need to mute that person. Let me see if I can do it, or maybe Dr. Basim, can you mute the person whose mic is on? Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Let's look at this text over here. I'm going to read it very quickly. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I like writing. I want to be a good writer. I am attending a workshop. It is about advanced writing. This workshop can help me. I will be a better writer. I can write simple paragraphs. I want to make them better. It is not easy. Sometimes I don't know how to write well. I can use different tips. My writing will improve. More people will like my writing. I will then write good research papers. I will publish them. That is my goal. I hope to achieve my goal. I know it is a big challenge. Many people are afraid of doing it. Nothing will stop me. Now, first of all, would you say this is an advanced text? Obviously. Yeah. So we all agree that this is a very basic text. Okay. Now, once again, let me just share a Word document with you here. Just a second. Word document, features, chat. Where's the chat again? Chat, where are you? There you are. Okay. Share, new share, features. Where is the features? Let's see. This is it. Okay. Just bring it up a little bit. Now, we all agreed that this is a basic text, correct? Now, tell me specifically, what helped you decide that the writing in the sample text is not advanced? So one of the ideas from Muhammad is that it is scattered. It's all over the place. Okay. What else? Give me more. Lacks connection and transition. Okay. Let me just take that. Lacks transition. All right. Monotonic. Yep. There you go. Monotonous, yeah. Where will we all be without autocorrect, huh? Well, monotonic or monotonous, both, fine. Yep. Repetition, yeah. Talia says the language is very simple. Yep. The wording is very simple, very basic. Yep. Repetition, low-level language. Yep. Low-level language. Repetition. I lost one. Cohesion and coherence. There you go. I'm having so much fun already. Yep. Personal pronoun. Too many personal pronouns. Yep. Overuse. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Of personal pronouns. All right, thank you very much for that. I'm gonna save this because Yeah, I'm going to open the sharing of the PowerPoint again. Okay, so you can see the PowerPoint again, right? All right. Now, so yeah, we did this already. And just a minute. Yeah. Just a minute. Now, we're going to try to do some things to make our writing more advanced. We're going to address the issues at the sentence level, and we will also address the issues at the word level, but mostly our focus will be on the sentence level. In this workshop, I'm not going to focus too much on the word level, okay? I'm just going to give you a simple tip, and then we'll move on. But most the crux, the main brain of the workshop is going to be addressing issues at the sentence level and beyond. All right? So let's continue. Now, last month, there was a wonderful workshop given by Dr. Yahya. And in that, he spoke about the 4 types of sentences. And his focus was on the use of linkers and cohesive devices. We're going to touch on these again, but my focus is different, as you will see soon. First of all, what are the 4 types of sentences? We have simple sentences, correct? What happens in a simple sentence? Well, simple sentences contain a subject and a verb and express a complete thought. I'm keeping this really basic because my purpose is not to get into technical jargon. No, I'm just giving you a very simple overview, because then we will actually get our hands dirty. We will actually be writing ourselves. Yep. Yeah, that's right. Of course, just to be safe, we have to add that there is no conjunction or subordination. And don't worry, this is going to be covered in the next step. Once again, I will repeat, I will not focus on the jargon too much. Just look at the example. I eat rice. This is a simple sentence. You have a subject, you have a verb. This one happens to have an object also, and it's expressing a complete thought. And here is a more researchy sounding sentence, a simple sentence. The data supports my findings, right? These are simple sentences. And the main reason that the text that we looked at looked so simple was because all of the sentences were simple sentences, correct? Yep. So when we want to make our writing more advanced, we have to vary our sentence structures, and we have to vary them in a way that they look very, very like cohesive. They should be coherent. And when the reader is reading what you have written, they should just be focusing on the ideas. The language should not be making them think, like all over the place. Well, we'll talk more about it. What is the second kind of sentence? It's the compound sentences. And what happens in a compound sentence? Well, it has at least 2 independent clauses joined by coordinating conjunctions. And here are the coordinating conjunctions: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. And I really loved this mnemonic. I love mnemonics. Fanboys, F-A-N-B-O-Y-S. Normally it's easy for me to memorize these kind of sequences, but yeah, this one was difficult, but fanboys made it easy for me. All right, before I move on, let me just play a little trick on all of you. I hope Dr. Basim will not mind. How many prepositions are there in the Arabic language? This is a trick question, huh? Careful. How many harf jar are there in the Arabic language? Does anybody know? Don't Google it. Answer directly from your mind. Aisha says 3. Okay. Anybody else? All right. All right. Here's my surprise. Are you ready? There are 17 harf jar. Okay. Yeah, ba, ta, kaf, lam, wow, mun, mud, khala, rubba, hasha, min, ada, fi, an, ala, hatta, ila. Yeah, but that is just completely off topic. It just reminded me, just memorizing these little linkers and coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. So let's just get back on topic. This is an example of a compound sentence. I eat rice and I drink tea. So these are 2 independent clauses. Now, let me ask you a question. I eat rice. This is a complete sentence normally, right? But when a sentence comes within another sentence, then we call it a clause because it's part of a larger idea. And the word that is connecting the 2 independent clauses is a coordinating conjunction, one of these 7. All right, let's look at a more researchy sounding example. The number of participants is small, yet the research is robust. So this is the number of participants is small is one independent clause, and the research is robust is another independent clause, and yet is the coordinating conjunction. Okay. Now the time for fun has come. All of you, now is the time that we will do this. Let me show you something. I will share my screen with you now. I think now you can see my whole screen. Right? You can see my complete screen now, everybody? All right, that's great news. I want you to do this, everybody. I want you to go to Socrative right now. Follow these instructions, please. Go to this website, www.socrative.com. Click on student login. Enter my room. This is my room name, Adel 8481. Then ask to write your name. You don't have to write your real name. You can write a nickname or anything random, doesn't matter. And then start the activity. And if you have any problem starting the activity on your browser, you can, in just 20 seconds, you can download and install the Socrative student app. And you can still do it. I will write the name of the room here, Adel 8481. And then start the activity on Socrative, this activity. Fahad is there, Iman, Rehab, Sarah, TAM, Tam, Hadil. Yep, nice. You will see a question there. Choose any number of sentences from the text below and combine them to write one compound sentence. And use these coordinating conjunctions for and blah, blah, blah. And here is that sample text again. So go ahead, everybody. Okay, I will give you 3 minutes for this because you only have to write one sentence, so 3 minutes, okay? Or let's make it 4 minutes because some of you are joining Socrative for the first time. So 4 minutes. Start. You can see the timer on my screen. Nice, nice. Okay, if anybody has any problem with Socrative, you can even write here in the class chat. Don't worry. Nice, nice. I'm getting more sentences. Nice. Okay, it's all right. It's okay. Fine. One more minute to go. Okay, Muhammad. It's okay. It's all right. Yeah, sometimes Socrative itself can also be slow. All right. So the time is up. All right, time is up. I'll finish this activity. Now, let's look at some examples. I'm not worried about the small typos or punctuation because I'm just focusing on the sentence structure. So yeah, here are some examples of some simple sentences. Oh, we don't need the names. Just somebody's mic is on. Okay, fine. Yeah, I like writing and I want to be a good writer. Many people are afraid of doing it, but nothing will stop me. Okay. I like writing and I want to be a good writer, so I'm attending this workshop. Okay, this is like a more advanced sentence, but fine, I get the idea. I like writing and I want to be a good writer. Okay, I like writing and I want to be a good writer. I'm attending a workshop for advanced writing. This workshop can help me, so I will be a better writer. So there are some people have written multiple sentences. Good, good. I can write simple paragraphs, but I want to make them better, blah, blah. Nice, nice. Here's some more. I will be a better writer. I can write simple Okay, nice. Thank you very much, everybody. Workshop about advanced writing. Thank you very much. So this was like an example, or these were rather examples of compound sentences. What is the next kind of sentence structure? Does anybody know after compound sentences? There you go. What happens in a complex sentence? Let's see. In complex sentences, we have one independent clause and at least one subordinate clause. Now, okay, we will look at the example and then it's going to be easy for us to discuss this. Here are the subordinating conjunctions. Before we talked about coordinating conjunctions, right? Fanboys, for, and, neither, like, nor, sorry, blah, 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 those. There are also some other conjunctions which are called subordinating conjunctions. And here is an example. I eat rice because I like it. Is this not the same as a compound sentence? It looks the same to me. I eat rice is a complete sentence, like it's an independent clause. I like it looks like an independent clause, and there is a joining, linking word. So aren't complex and compound sentences the same then? Okay, the difference is the difference between a complex and a compound sentence, that in a compound, there you go, Nadia. Thank you very much. You took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you, Rehab. That's right. There you go. There you go. You know, let's look at that. Let's look at this compound sentence. I eat rice is a complete, like, independent clause, and I drink tea is a complete independent clause, and is not part of either clause. And is just a linking word. It's a coordinating conjunction. Whereas in a complex sentence, the linking word is part of the clause. Okay, so I eat rice, that's an independent clause. It can be a sentence in and of itself. But this one, because I like it, this is not a complete sentence. Okay, it can sound like a complete sentence in speaking when you say this in reply to an answer, a question. When somebody says to you, why do you eat rice? And you say, because I like it. In that context, it's understood. But in and of itself, if you randomly see this somewhere, because I like it, this is not a complete sentence. It's dependent on the independent clause. Here's a more research. There you go, Hatem. Yeah, it's not standalone. It cannot be standalone. Yep. Here's another researchy example. Although some researchers disagree with this idea, it has been popular for some time. So which one is the independent clause? The part starting with although or the part starting with it? Which one is the independent clause? Okay, keep thinking. Yeah, this is the independent clause. It has been popular for some time. Okay. And although this has, the dependent clause has the subordinating conjunction. Yep. Yep. Although some researchers disagree with this idea, this is not a complete sentence. If you stop here, this does not make any sense. This is a dependent clause. It has and the easiest way of recognizing it is that it starts with a subordinating conjunction. And we will look at some subordinating conjunctions now, but we will write a complex sentence now, all of us. Let's go back to Socrative again. And this time we will write a complex sentence. The instructions will be clear, don't worry. Here you go. Choose any number of sentences from the text below and combine them to write one complex sentence, meaning one independent clause and at least one subordinate clause. And use the subordinating conjunctions given after the text. Here, I have given you a list of subordinating conjunctions. Use any of these. Okay, and this time I'll give you 3 minutes only because now you know how to use Socrative. So the timer, 3 minutes, start. I'll just mute my mic for a second. All right, so the time is up. Okay, let's see what we have here on Socrative. We are looking for complex sentences, a sentence with at least, with one independent clause and at least one subordinate clause. You can have more than one subordinate clause, but one is minimum, right? So let's see. All right. Yeah, Roseanne, you can see my screen again, right? Yeah, I just had to do some maintenance here. All right, let's see. All right. Mhm. I like this one. I like writing, although I know it is a big challenge. So I like writing is the independent clause. And although I know it is a big challenge is the subordinate clause or the dependent clause. Yeah, here's a nice one. As much as I want to be a good writer, it is not easy. Okay, I'll just randomly look at some of them. I want to be a good writer because I want to make them better. My paragraphs, basically, that's what you're trying to say, okay? Although advanced writing is a big challenge, I want to be a good writer. Okay, you have the subordinating conjunction here already. You don't need it again. Nice. I want to be a good writer, although sometimes I don't know how to write well. Here's another good example of a complex sentence. Here is the independent clause, and then with although, the dependent clause is starting. So thank you very much for that, everybody. Just one more kind of sentence, and then we will move on to the next part of the workshop, okay? What is the next kind of sentence structure that we should be using in our research articles? We talked about simple sentences. We talked about compound sentences. We talked about complex sentences. What's the next one? The next one is compound complex sentences. Okay, there you go, Hatem. Thank you very much. Yep, that's the one. And what happens in a compound complex sentence? Okay. At least two independent clauses and at least one subordinate clause. Okay. In a complex sentence, we had one independent clause, right? And then there was a choice of including more subordinate clauses. Here you have two independent clauses. And then again, you have the choice of including more subordinate clauses. Let's look at examples. The examples would make it easy to understand. Although I am on a diet, I eat lots of rice and I drink lots of juice. Which one is the subordinate clause here? Yeah. Thank you, Amal. Do we all agree with Amal, guys? Ladies and gentlemen? Although I am on a diet, yeah, this is a dependent subordinate clause because it cannot stand on its own. Okay. And then we have how many independent clauses? We have two independent clauses. We have I eat lots of rice. This is one independent clause. Here, what is and? And is a coordinating conjunction or a subordinating conjunction? And. Just write C or S. Coordinating conjunction. Thank you very much. Yep. This means that the two clauses are of equal importance and they can stand alone as separate sentences. So this is a compound complex sentence. It has at least two independent clauses. You can have more. And it has at least one subordinate clause. All right. Here is a researchy example. This was a basic one. Let's look at an example from research. Provided that the conditions are favorable, I will finish the work and I will inform you about the results. Once again, this is the subordinate clause, provided that the conditions are favorable. and then you have two independent clauses. I will finish the work and I will inform you about the results. Okay, any questions so far? Is it clear? Are the four kinds of sentences clear? Simple, compound, complex, compound complex. All right. Just I will beg your forgiveness one more time. Just one last activity on Socrative and then we're done. I want us to write at least one compound complex sentence on Socrative and then we're done. Then I won't bother you with any more activities on Socrative. Okay? Once again, you have 3 minutes. This is the question. Three minutes, start. You can change the sentences a little bit, don't worry. You can reword them. You don't have to use the absolute exact words. If you want to change a pronoun or a reference, you can, no problem. All right. There's a nice one. Since I want to be a good writer, I am attending a workshop and it is about advanced writing. Good one. This is the subordinate clause, the dependent clause, and then there are two independent clauses joined together with the coordinating conjunction and. There's another one. Although I like writing, I'm not a good writer, but I can improve it. See, that's a nice way of, you writing in a flowing manner. I like writing and I want to be a good writer, although I know it is a big challenge. Nice, nice. I'm impressed, man. I'm impressed. Nice. "30 seconds to go. Okay, thank you very much for your patience. That was the last Socrative activity. Let's look at some nice examples. Then we will move on to the next part. We will stop talking about the sentence structures and we will talk more about at a higher level. So let's see. Although I can write simple paragraphs, I want to make them better, but it's not easy. Okay. I am attending an advanced writing workshop because I like writing and I want to be a good writer. There you go. All right. Nice, nice. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. There was another one that I saw, another nice one. All of them are nice, of course. Here's one. because I can't write very well, I am attending a workshop and using different tips. Nice. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And this was our taster of sentence structures, okay? Now we will move on to the next part of our workshop. Okay, now I can just, I will share just the PowerPoint with you now. Okay. All right, you can see the PowerPoint now, right, ladies and gentlemen? Nice. Okay, thank you, Aisha. Thank you, Halima. Thank you, Intisar. This, like I said, I will not talk too much about addressing issues at the word level, but there's one very important point which I think is really something we need to discuss, and that is this. We will look at we will not go to Socrative. We will just look at that sample text one more time. And what we will do, because it was, as you said in the beginning, we are using only basic words in that, right? Now we will go to thesaurus.com or wordhippo.com, and I want you to tell me more advanced and academic equivalents for the words in the sample text. Let me open the sample text just a second. Okay, sample text. Where are you, sample text? There you are. Okay, let me share this with you. Okay, now in the chat box, I want you to tell me which words should I change here? Which basic words should I change? And which ones shall I change them with? You can take help from thesaurus.com and wordhippo.com. Okay. Khulud says I should change good. Okay, tell me the word to change and also give me the equivalent. What should I change it with? I will do it in real time now. Okay, from different to various, okay? Different to various. People to participants, okay? Yeah. Khulud says I want to be a better writer. Got it, Khulud. Thank you. Got it. Got it. Can to could. Yeah. Yeah. Good to better. Goal, target, goal, aim. Yeah, Halima and Ibrahim, thank you. Because it's repetitive, right? The goal is coming again and again. We can make it aim. We can make it target. Give me some more. Good, competent, there you go. Advanced, sophisticated, improve to develop. Nice. In fact, you folks are going so fast that I'm just going to stop writing them now, but yeah, nice, sophisticated, improve to develop. Okay. Afraid to scared, better to brilliant. Nice, nice. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. We're going to stop now because I want to make the point that I wanted to make. Okay. Enhance, there you go. That's a good one. Yeah. Instead of improve, we can say enhance. Yeah. Again, yeah, 2 people mentioned that. Yeah, my writing will improve. My writing skills would be enhanced. Nice. I'm impressed. Nice. Let me open the PowerPoint again and share that. What is the point I'm trying to make here? I'm trying to make 2 points here. Oh, yeah, sorry. I always hate it when I hit the next button twice and move to the next slide. There's one thing. There you go, Amar. Thank you very much. You just read my mind, Amar. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're a magician. You read my mind. Yeah. There is one danger in using this technique. This is a very easy technique to use, right? Just take a word, go to a place like thesaurus.com or wordhippo.com, and just take as many academic equivalents you can. What is the danger in that? That's a very good technique, but there's one danger in that. And what is that? You can either type it in the chat box, or you can open your mic and tell me. What is the danger? There you go. Yes, both Aisha and Halima mentioned it, and Umar also mentioned it. Yeah. There you go, Khulud. Yes, you have to be able to understand them. And Noor said, just like Halima and Aisha, that the meaning could change. Because this is the point that I was trying to focus on, which is that, there you go. Yeah, the word does not fit the context from Basma. Nurun Nisa says, maybe the word doesn't suit with the situation, the context. And Hatem brings up another good point. Maybe you will run across archaic words. Yeah, maybe you will look for an equivalent for the word horse, and you will say, oh, he was sitting on his steed. And people will be like, what is he talking about? Steed. Nobody has used that word since the Middle Ages. So there you go. Yeah, we have to avoid jargon as well. So the point I'm trying to make is this. As you all know, in the English language, and I'm sure this is true of the other languages as well, no two words have the absolute 100% exact same meaning. There is always something. Sometimes there's a little shade of meaning. Sometimes there's a context. Sometimes there's a collocation. Sometimes there's a sentence structure. So there are many different, sometimes you can just change one word for another, no problem. Like, I will improve or I will enhance. Sometimes it's possible, okay? But what we need to be careful about, there you go, yeah, Awada, I will take that point. I will finish and then I'll take that point, yeah. The point I was trying to make was that, yes, if somebody does that, sometimes there's a danger that you can change the meaning and it will not make sense. So if you are going to use this technique, just be sure of one thing, that you know exactly how that word is used. And if you are not sure, then look up as many example sentences as possible, because both thesaurus.com and wordhippo.com, when you click on that word, it will also give you many examples of that sentence structure of that word used in different sentences. Or you can just Google it. For example, elevate used in a sentence. And then after you read 5, 6, 10, 20 sentences and you feel absolutely safe, then use this technique, okay? And Awad makes a good point here. He says that if you just throw in too many advanced words, then the text can be too difficult to understand. We just have to strike a balance, okay? So this was one point I wanted to make about using advanced vocabulary. Now let's look at something else now. We talked about varying our sentence structure, right? There's a good one from Hatem. If you had to look it up in a dictionary, it's not the right word. Good one from Stephen King. Now, on your screen, you will see two texts. I will put them on the screen. I will give you 2 minutes to read them. And then I want your opinion, which of the two following texts is more effective? It's the same one, basically. It's the same text, just written in two different styles. Okay? Tell me which one is more effective and why. What's the reason? There you go. I will be quiet for 2 minutes now. Okay, I'm already getting some ideas. We will look at them after the 2 minutes finish. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. The 2 minutes are up. And let me look at your ideas now. I see that we have some ideas. Let me start from the beginning. Okay, Marianne says, the second was easier to follow. Halima says, the second, because of the order of the ideas. Yeah, second one. All right. And the second looks more effective because the meaning is clearer. Marianne says the first is a run-on sentence. Two. So we all agree that two is better. Oh yeah, Ibrahim says it's well structured. Subject is clear. Nice, nice. More direction from the beginning. The use of punctuation. Thank you. Okay. All right. Khulud says that she likes the first one. Okay. Yeah, we can agree to disagree on certain points. I think most of us found the second one to be clearer because I think that what happened in the first one was the writer was just deliberately trying to write a long sentence with a very complicated sentence structure. Did you get that feeling? I got that feeling. Yeah. I think that for some reason, this writer thought that it would be more fashionable to write a very long, convoluted sentence. And what they ended up doing was that at the expense of the reader's comprehension, they just showed off their grammar. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, me too. I had to read it so many times to understand it. Whereas the second one sounds so logical. We conducted an analysis of A, B, and C. This was done in order to establish a relationship between document length and blah, 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 blah. So yeah. So what is the lesson that we are learning here? What is the lesson that we learned here? That the most important thing is the reader's comprehension, ease of reading for the reader. By the way, this is from Wall Work, 2013, an absolutely amazing book. I will show you the full reference in the end. This is a book everybody should have if they are thinking about improving their writing. So this is the caveat about writing long sentences that I wanted to convey. The most important thing is clarity and ease of understanding for the readers. If the readers get lost in convoluted sentence structures, no matter how pleasing they might seem to a grammar purist, you will lose your readers. Okay? So yeah, that was another point I wanted to make about using sentence structures. Now, let's talk about another thing, sounding academic. You know, when we looked at that, when we looked at the first sample text, all of us immediately said that it does not sound academic. And one of the reasons was that the person was writing only basic, simple sentences. The vocabulary was also very simple. One of the points that you highlighted was that there was a lot of use of personal pronoun, a lot of use of their opinion, correct? Look at this sample text here. What do you think about this statement made by a researcher in an article? I surveyed 20 beginner level students at my university. After analyzing the data, I can say this with confidence that there is no doubt that students in Saudi Arabia consider speaking to be the most difficult skill to master in a foreign language. Halima says vanilla. Well, Halima, I must warn you, I'm on a diet. So if you're going to talk about ice cream, please don't mention vanilla and chocolate. I'm guessing you're saying that the writing style is vanilla. Okay, sorry about that joke. Okay, Omar says personal pronouns. What else? Absolute opinion. Okay, give me, what do you think of, what comes to your mind when you look at this piece of text from a researcher? That this person is making a conclusion. All right. Would you say that he sounds academic? Would you write like that? That you interview 20 people and then you make a generalization about all the students in Saudi Arabia like that? Nah. Maybe it's true that this person did survey 20 beginner level students. And maybe those 20 students did say that they consider speaking to be very important. Yeah, Marianne, yep. Thank you. Yeah. Based on only one personal experience. Yeah, Hanan. Yeah. Mizna says that the passive voice should be used more. Okay, I will touch on the passive. Mizna, please remind me later, okay? Nurunisa says we cannot make a confirmed conclusion. That's right. And this is what brings me to my next point. By the way, before you say anything bad about this researcher, please don't, because you know who wrote this? I did. I mean, just as a dummy, not in a real article, just to make a point, okay? Okay. All right. John Doe. This is fake. This is just like concocted data just to make a point. Yeah. So the point I'm trying to make is this. A tip for sounding academic: qualify what you say when needed. You see, the thing that bothered us all about this writing is that the writer did not qualify what they wrote. They took one small experience and generalized that, you know? Yeah, Khulud, you can, somebody can talk about that as a personal experience, but yeah, at an academic level, this is not going to work. So now I'm going to show you some sentences. In which sentences below does the author qualify his or her results? That is, admit that they are limited in some way, that their results are limited. So here are 4 or 5. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I will be quiet for 2 minutes. Read them and tell me in which sentences is the writer qualifying their writing. You have 2 minutes to read these. I'm getting some answers. Nice. Keep going.
Well, there's more than one sentence, right?
Yeah, there can be one. There can be one. Yeah, one,
There's
2, 3,
two.
4. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, there can be more than one answer, huh? There can be 2, 3, 4, or maybe you can say all 5. We'll discuss them when the time finishes. We still have 40 seconds. Okay, so the time is up. Let's see now. Let's share our ideas. So, in which sentences does the author qualify their results? That is, admit that the results are limited. Okay. So let's look at number 1. Although the results are limited to X and do not take into account Y, this can be justified from the fact that blah, blah, blah. Here they have definitely qualified what they are saying. Yep. They're talking about their result. They're saying that it is only limited to this and does not take this other data into account. And then they're trying to justify whatever they're saying, but at least they have qualified what they said. Number 2, even though our results do not show that X equals Y, they nevertheless highlight that blah, 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 blah. So once again, they qualified what they said. Number 3, the results are good, albeit only from a small sample. Again, they qualified it. They said that, the results are good, but they're just from a small sample. Number 4 is the only one which is not clear. Our results allowed us to calculate the value of the parameters investigated. In this one, they have not qualified what they're saying. They are not making a generalization. They are not going over the top, and I'm not criticizing it. I'm just making the point that this sentence is not qualified. So the key word here is that qualify what you say when needed. So when I say that number 4 is not qualified, the author has not qualified the sentence. That does not mean there's anything wrong with this sentence. I'm just trying to highlight the fact that when you want to qualify, you do it the way it is done in 1, 2, 3, and 5. Look at number 5. Despite the fact that our model was not able to predict the values with 100% accuracy, we believe that our achievement of 87% is a major advance on the current state of the art. Yep. So once again, qualify what you say when needed. If you make over-the-top claims, automatically, you will turn off your readers. Okay. Any questions about this slide? I will stay on for 10 seconds and then we'll move on because we have one more idea to talk about before we finish. Okay, let's move on. That's right. Yeah, all except 4. Yeah, all of them the authors have qualified what they said, but not in number 4. Moving on. Okay, whenever you are writing, always keep the findings and limitations in different degrees. That's correct. Yeah, in the previous slide, they have qualified it, but in different degrees. Yeah, some of them try to justify what their limitation, like what happened. But yeah, this is what is linked to this one. When you are writing, always keep these 3 things in mind, especially in the literature review and in the towards the end when you do your discussion and your conclusion. Always think about the findings and limitations and solutions of research. Let me explain what I mean. Look at this. You found from your research that a ratio of 5:1 in praise versus corrective feedback. Corrective feedback is like criticism, but I don't like the word criticism because we are not criticizing our students. We are giving them corrective feedback, right? So a 5:1 ratio in praise versus corrective feedback in the classroom significantly improves student performance. Let's imagine this is what you found in your research. And what were the limitations of your research? For example, the studies were only conducted in 5 schools, all in the same town. What could be a solution to this limitation? Extend the studies to other schools in other towns and countries. So when you want to make this point, either in the literature review about somebody else's research or in the discussion section or conclusion section of your own research, you can word it like this. We found that a ratio of 5:1 in praise versus corrective feedback in the classroom significantly improves student performance. One limitation of our work was that studies were only made in 5 schools, and those were all in the same town. We thus plan to extend our studies to other schools in other towns and possibly in other countries. My purpose for showing you this example was that a lot of times all you see, especially from new researchers, they will cite a study, okay, in their literature review specifically, for example, and they will not talk about the limitations and the solutions, or even if they don't mention it, they don't bring it up later even. They don't thread it together into the argument. So that means just, giving the findings and moving on. You're not preparing just a listing of research findings. Your job is always to think about the findings and the limitations and the solutions. It's done in a different way in the literature review. There are separate sessions given by different researchers here at the AWC for writing a literature review. So I'm not going to go over that, but just keep this in mind. When you cite any kind of research, when you reword it, when you rephrase it, or when you talk about these things in your discussion and conclusion section, make sure that when you discuss the findings, also talk about the limitations and solutions. Okay, this one is also from Walwork, my favorite author. Last one, just the last point. Just 1 second, please. Just 1 second. Yeah, I'm back, sorry. Confirming or challenging other authors' assertions. Okay. Let's imagine that this is a claim in literature that used car salesmen offer lie. Okay. There should be salesmen, it's plural. Okay. But when you conducted research, you found that lie detectors used with used car salesmen from 20 countries indicated that 90% of the cases, they spoke the truth. So in this case, that means that your findings challenge other authors. Is that correct? So how do you challenge other people's or what is found in literature? I think like at the basic level, a person will only say, research says this, but I disagree. Or Smith 2000 says blah, blah, but blah, blah disagrees. That's not enough. Look at how this is done here. Contrary to other results in the literature, we found that used car salesmen do, in fact, tell the truth. According to our research findings, lie detectors were used with used car salesmen from different countries, and the results indicated that in 90% of cases, the salesmen spoke the truth. And this is the punchline. This has important implications when consumers make decisions as to whether they would buy a new or a used car. You see how this author has expanded the whole argument and how they have, challenged them and then talked about the implications of that challenge. I really like this example. So this is going to be something that should always be at the back of your mind when you are writing your research paper, your thesis, your dissertation, your book review, your article critique. Always think about confirming or challenging other authors' assertions. And do you know why because we have to do both things, but do you know why I deliberately chose the example of challenging other authors' assertions and I did not give one example of confirming? Because normally people feel insecure and afraid and nervous about challenging other people's assertions. Sometimes people think that, this article was published in the ELT Journal or TESOL Quarterly or in Lingua, so that must be really important. Your research is just as important as anybody else's. We are all contributing to world literature. So if you found something which is contrary to what other people have found out in other contexts, then it is your responsibility, and this is part of your integrity as a researcher. You should report that as honestly and as clearly as possible. And this is the way research should work. Okay. Thank you, Nurnisa. Thank you, Khulud. Appreciate that. Again, this one was also adapted from wall work. Okay. And I'll finish the workshop with these words, that the only way for you to become a good writer is you should read a lot. Reading and writing are inextricably linked. If you want to improve your writing, you should read academic texts as much as possible and note down words and phrases that you can plug into your writing. And before I end this, I want to just show you something. Just give me 1 second. Let me open that. Flex, where is that? Okay, I opened it. Now I'll share it with you. I'm showing you this just to make that point about how reading can improve your writing. You can see this, right? I'm not going to read all of this. You can take a screenshot of this and read it later. Let me just bring it on the screen. I'll just read a few lines here. But surely it is your own prerogative. One of the prerequisites of this job is to have the faculty of volition. And if you think you will exacerbate the situation by espousing these spurious theories, well, let me just say I don't see that as a worthy pursuit. You are trying to put me in a predicament. For this to come to fruition, you would have to overcome some debilitating impediments that have the proclivity of hindering one's progress by coming up at very odd times. Okay, that's it. I'm not going to read any more of this. The only reason I'm showing you this is that this is an exercise I did when I was younger, a long, long time ago. Yep, once upon a time when I was young, and I had done a lot of reading and I had a lot of words and sentences and phrases in my mind. I said, you know what? Let me just sit down and try to do an exercise just to flex my muscles. And I wrote this. And I think this was one of the more enjoyable experiences of my life. And because when you read a lot and when you have all of these different lexical units and chunks in your mind, whenever you start writing and when you plug them into your writing, that's going to make your writing look like a lot more academic than it would be. Okay, so let me see. I have, yeah, the words flow. Yeah, appreciate that, Khulud. Let me just open that sharing again of the PowerPoint. There you go, Muhammad. Thank you. There should be intensive and extensive reading before you go for a piece of writing. Yep. Nur Nisa has a question. Nur Nisa, I will take that question when I come to the question answer session. Okay. Let me just end that. Muhammad, yeah, coherence. I will take that. I will take that question. Just remind me. Let's go over the summary. What do we have to do to become good writers? Vary your sentence structures. Use simple, compound, complex, compound, complex sentence structures. Use academic equivalents, but carefully, only when you know the exact usage of the academic equivalent. Make it easy for readers to follow your argument instead of flexing your academic muscles. This was the example of the long sentence, which was not broken down earlier. Qualify what you are saying when necessary. Don't go overboard. Don't make generalizations when they're not warranted. Keep findings, limitations, and solutions in mind. Confirm or challenge the claims and assertions from other authors when appropriate. And last but not least, read, and read some more. Okay. So before I take your questions, I will just give you my email address. If anybody has any follow-up questions or wants any further clarification about any point, you can send me an email. And I sent it. And I talked about one of my passions earlier, which was language learning. I also make videos about language learning on YouTube. So if anybody is interested, you can check that as well. And now I will take your questions, starting with Nur Nisa, okay? Nur Nisa says, sometimes while compiling the paragraphs, most of the subject characteristics are same. What is the solution for that? Yeah, Nur Nisa, I think you can solve this problem with a combination of two things, actually. You can, number one, you can vary the sentence structure, okay? And number two, just a minute, let me just see. The subject characteristics are the same. Yeah, if you vary your writing at the sentence level and at the academic equivalent level, it's gonna look different, yeah. Yeah, and if you have any follow-up questions on that, if you think that my answer did not address what you are trying to say, you can ask a follow-up question. Muhammad has a very interesting question. He says, what is the meaning of coherence? And Muhammad, you will be surprised to hear my answer. Coherence happens to be one of the more challenging things to explain, but fortunately, it's easy to understand also, you know? Coherence is what makes your text make sense, okay? And what do you call that? There are actually workshops that have been given at the Academic Writing Center. Here, Dr. Basim just shared the YouTube channel of our Academic Writing Center. When you go there, there's a complete workshop on cohesion and coherence. You can check that out, okay, Muhammad? Yeah, and let me just show you the books that I consulted for preparing this. Aliota 2018, Wallwork 2012, and Wallwork and Southern 2020. And the one that I would recommend, I would say that you should go out of your way to consult. That will be this one, Wallwork 2012, 2013, English for Academic Research Writing Exercises. This is a text which you will not get lost. When you open the book, it has only one-page exercises, action, action, action. You will be amazed. Okay, about the passive voice. Mizna, thank you very much for that question, okay? Oh, Dr. Kamal says there are several workshops on cohesion and coherence. Thank you, Dr. Kamal, thank you, yeah. So for not just for Muhammad, for all of us, these are going to be really important. About the passive voice, this is a very good question, and the answer is simple. It's not, I would not say it's preferable, it's once again, it's a question of variety. You know, you will find some people who will say that the passive voice is always preferable, but that is only a half truth. The full truth is that you need to vary your sentence structure. So sometimes you'll use the passive, but do not be afraid to use the active voice, even using a personal pronoun or referring to yourself, this research or the current research or something like that. You can always do that. Don't feel like nervous about doing that. Okay. Any more questions? Rehab says, what is your take on using Grammarly for setting criteria, including clarity and flow? Can artificial intelligence be accurate in assessing writing flow? You know, Rehab, so far, you know, there has been a lot of effort that has been made about the use of artificial intelligence in evaluating and working on writing. And so far, we have not hit a magic formula yet. So I'm going to be honest with you. I have not used Grammarly myself. So whatever I will say will just be a personal opinion based on my what do you call that? My own preference. But all the other, like any kind of artificial intelligence that I've used for speech recognition and for checking writing, there are always limitations. They can help you, but they will never be like a, what's the word I'm looking for? A substitute. They cannot be a substitute for an experienced academic writer who can give you direct feedback tailored just for your writing. So I hope that answered your question, Rehab. Thank you for that question. Okay. So if you,
Dr. Kamal, Dr. Adel, thank you so much for this wonderful and informative workshop. We really learned a lot and enjoyed it. And let's see if, and thank you all for attending this workshop. So I shared with you 3 links. So please don't forget to complete the evaluation form and also the link for our YouTube channel. And also the last link is for our booking system. So whenever you have any issues or you need help with your writing, you can just book an appointment or a couple appointments, and we will be happy to help you out with your writing. So let's see if any more comments or questions here. We need another part, please, for the session. I don't know, Rehab, what do you mean by another part? All right, so will the recording be available? Yes, inshallah, within 24 hours, we will upload this wonderful workshop, and we will send the certificate, inshallah, within 48 hours to all participants, inshallah. So I think there are no more questions or comments. So thank you again, Dr. Adel.
Thank you, Dr. Bassam. The pleasure is mine. This is a great honor. Thank you for giving me this chance, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you all for attending the workshop, and stay tuned, inshallah. Next Wednesday, 2 days from now, we'll have another workshop about how to identify gaps in the literature. Okay, enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you, inshallah, on Wednesday.